What's up, everybody? Let's get everyone coming into the live stream. Welcome to another live stream of Winning in the Workplace. Tonight's going to be another live question and answer. So if you have questions about the interview process, hiring, any of those things, feel free to leave it in the comment section. So thank you guys so much for joining tonight. I am going to pin my email address in the chat on Instagram. It's Coach Daniel Smiley at gmail.com. Coach Daniel Smiley at gmail.com. And if you have a question that you want to text me, you can text me as well. This is a text line. We do not pick it up for phone calls. It is 469-616-3233. 616-3233. So I'm going to pin this in the chat on Instagram. So if you want to email me to take a look at your resume, I will take a look at your resume for free. We do not charge to review your resume. We get a lot of resumes every single day, and I try to respond to every single one. Every resume comes to me, and I am the one that gives the feedback. And and I want to make sure that you guys are getting all of the help that you need. Thank you so much to everyone who has supported thus far. And we're going to be going live 4 days a week. I've had to change my schedule just a little bit, but we're going to try to do it Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday so that we can answer your question. But you guys have been sending me tons of questions, hundreds of questions and comments on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. And you have been texting me and emailing me questions as well. And I try to make sure that I answer every person's question every day. If I don't get back to you immediately, I will get back to you within 24 hours. So if you have a question about anything, you're having issues with your resume, you're having issues with interviews, you're not getting callbacks, you want to know what's going on, what's the issue is, I will tell you. I have been a talent acquisition manager, director, C-level executive for 35 years in human resources. In every imaginable industry you could ever think of. There is no industry that I have not. Tech, medical, production, manufacturing, logistics, everything. Administration, customer service, you name it. I work for some of the biggest companies in the nation. And prior military, so I know the government space as well. Anyway, I want to answer your question. So if you have a question, I want you to leave your question in the comment section. Do not leave this live without getting your question answered. To get started, though, I want to share something with you because I know this is many of your stories. Okay, so I had an new Instagram followers, and by the way, welcome to all of our many thousands of new Instagram followers. TikTok followers and YouTube followers. Many of you are following and you are getting the help you need. So this Instagram follower says, "Sir, I would like to take a second and give you your roses. You are an inspiration to me. I have followed, studied, and applied and retained a lot of information that you have shared. I am a 47-year-old employable, newly skilled CDL B driver. I recently lost my job at OCTA Transportation for attendance misconduct. I immediately started applying to other transportation authorities the day that I knew that I would be terminated. I was afraid of how to respond to the question have you ever been terminated? After watching all of your videos posted on your page, I gained ample amounts of confidence to successfully interview without doubt that I will be hired. Guess what? I have been hired by all 4 jobs and I have interviewed for. Reluctantly, I have also accepted each position. I did not know which job started first or pays the most or fits my needs the best. I am in a financial setback with the loss of my previous job that I wanted to get started right away. My question to you is, how do I tell the companies that I am no longer interested once I have chosen the company that is the best fit for me without prejudice and possibly being considered for rehire in the near future if needed? So this is someone who sent me a message. I got this message today and I wanted to share this with you because I know from all of the people that I talked to on Instagram, Facebook, via email, text message, and one-on-ones that this is a lot of your stories, okay? And so I know that the content is helping people, but this is what I told her. So I said to her, congratulations, I'm glad the content is helping you. Here's how you respond to, if you have multiple job offers, here's how you need to respond to the ones that you're no longer interested in. You simply send them an email that says, thank you very much. I appreciate your time and patience with me. Thank you for giving me the offer. At this time, I have decided to go in another direction. I know that you will find somebody. I know that you will find someone who is a great fit for your team. I wish you all the best. Have a great day. That's it. Don't say anything else. You don't have to apologize for it or anything. You have to take care of you and your family. That's what's most important. As I stated in previous live shows, no one is going to advocate for you. You must advocate for yourself. And this is someone who followed that advice and has gotten a job, even though she was terminated for attendance reasons. I'm not trying to convince anybody that what I'm sharing with you works. I'm not trying to do that. I know it works. I've been doing this for a long time. And one segment of the population that I am very familiar with, and that is hiring managers. I know exactly how they think, what they want, what they look. I know exactly what they're looking for. And so I have been led, guided by the Lord to share this information with the millions of people who are watching this content on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis, because obviously you need the help, right? I don't care what anybody says about it. I don't care who comes at me. I don't care. The bottom line is I'm going to continue to share this information with you so you can get the help you need. This is why I do it. And this is just one of many testimonies that I get on a daily basis. And I do my best to respond to every single one of you guys. Panetta says, I've been following you for 3 days and your content has been extremely helpful. Thank you. You're very welcome. And thank you for sharing that information with me. I appreciate it. If you have a question, you can leave your question in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer your question to make sure that you're getting the help that you need. NOH99 says 100. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. If you need help with your resume, I didn't say this at the top of the show, but I often tell people if you need any kind of help, how to find the job, how to negotiate pay, a resume template, our resume rework service, all of that, you can click the link in my bio and all of that stuff is there. And I'll be happy to help you with any of those things that you need. Okay, here's a question on Instagram. You once said, if you've been fired and are looking for your next role, to tell prospective hiring managers your values are no longer in line with the company you're leaving. My question is this not a red flag to a seasoned hiring manager? So the unequivocal answer to that question is no, it is not a red flag. Okay. Now, why do I tell you to do that? because I don't know one hiring manager, one, who knows how to respond to that response. Not one. It's not a red flag. If you're not working with another company and you were terminated from that company, and you're telling them what was just shared, that your values and your goals, they're no longer aligned with that other company. They are more aligned with this company, and that's why I'm sitting in front of you, because I want to work for the best company in the world, on the best team in the world, and that's team. Let me tell you what they really want. What hiring managers really want is for you, and I don't mean this in a what word am I trying to use? I don't mean this in a shallow way, okay? What hiring managers don't know about you is how committed you will be to them. They have no idea. And the purpose of the interview, primarily, the primary purpose, because we've already got past the experience, education, and background piece, they want to know, are you somebody that's going to be an A player on their team? Somebody that's going to help them get to the top of the mountain. That's really the purpose of the interview. They're trying to see if you're going to be somebody who is going to come in and be committed and work and make things happen, because they have all of this pressure on their back as a middle level manager, senior level manager, whoever. And they want to know if you're going to help make things easier for them. That's what they care about more than anything else. They're not going to tell you that, but that's the reason why they come to me in the HR department and as talent acquisition to hire somebody, because they have too much work on their plate and they cannot do it all by themselves. So they need you, and they don't want to tell you they need you, but I'm telling you, they need you. And so what they want to know is, are you going to be the kind of comes in and helps me carry this heavy load? That's all they care about. Whenever I interview with CEOs, or I interview with directors or VPs of HR, I know what they want. They want somebody who is going to take the talent acquisition load off of their back, because they can't do it. They can't do employee relations and benefits administration and payroll and all of that good stuff. So in your case, it's the same thing. In the case of this CDL driver, if the CDL driver ain't driving, somebody else got to drive. It might be the supervisor. They don't want to do that. If it's customer service, those phones got to get answered. And if they don't have enough people to take the calls, the supervisor has to do that. So they're hiring people to take the weight off of you. It's the same thing on my team. I tell, the leadership, one recruiter, they can hire about 40 people a week. When we get to 40 people a week, that's too many for that person to do on their own. We need to open up another head count, or you're going to drive that person crazy and they're going to quit because they're overwhelmed and can't meet the expectations of the role. So there's a ratio that every manager should know, that each person is responsible, the load they're responsible for carrying. Okay? And they need you bad. They really need you. They won't tell you that, but they really need you. S4 said, I had an interview this past Tuesday. At the end of it, I use your ending. I didn't ask about the hiring process. Okay, I don't think I understood your question. So if you can restate it, that would be great. Okay, at the end of every interview, you should always ask only one question. What is that one question, coach? When would you like me to start? That's the only question you should ask. If you got the guide, what you should know before you go, you'll know everything about that and that job and the position and the problem it solves, everything before you even walk in the door. So you don't have to ask questions about, well, what are your core values? What is the job going to be doing? What are the hours? You don't have to ask any of that question. You don't even have to ask questions about pay, because you should know that already. What is the pay range? All of that stuff is available to you. So at the end of the interview, when the hiring manager has finished yapping, in talking to you and asking you questions, they're going to ask you, well, what questions do you have for me? Well, thank you so much for your time. I do have one question and one question only. Pause. When would you like me to start? Now, why do I tell you to do that? Because you are going to immediately gauge whether or not the hiring manager is interested in you. It is the fastest way to know if they want to hire you. Okay? They know. They know if they want to hire you. They know. Right at the end of the interview, they know. It's not something they have to think about or sleep on. They know. So you want to put them in a position to answer that question. When would you like me to start? That's the only question you should ask. S4 said, okay, good. I said that. That's good. And that's the question you should ask. Okay. If you have a question, leave it in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer your question. On TikTok, same thing. If you have a question, leave it in the comment section. I will be happy to answer any of your questions. Okay. Here's another question. I have a question. I have an upcoming interview, and I was let go from my past job due to restructuring. If I told you this as an interviewer, what are your thoughts? What will be a better response to why I am no longer with the company? I have been looking for a job for 4 months now, and I feel that gap makes me look like a bad candidate. Okay. S4 said they were shocked when I said that. They are always shocked. Okay. All right. So I say this all the time. This may shock you, but this is the truth. Most hiring managers don't care about the reason why you're not working with another company. Okay. Now, if it is habitual, meaning you have been fired from the last 25 jobs, you need to figure out something else to do. But if you were part of a reduction in force because of restructuring, that is a legitimate reason for you not to be working with that company. It was completely out of your control and nothing you can do. And a hiring manager who does not understand that is not a manager you want to work for. That's just not smart. I was going to say something else, but I'm a man of God, so I got to make sure I keep my wits about me. Dark Lord says, we appreciate you. I appreciate you too. So if you no longer have a job because they restructured and that caused a reduction in workforce, that's fine. If that reduction in workforce has created a gap, meaning you have had challenges finding a job over the course of the past 4 months, the way you explain a gap is, I haven't accepted a job with another company because I have not found a company that I want to work for until now, until this one. Okay. Gaps in employment are not that important. They are not. Unless you've been, and you could have been off work for the past 5 years. People don't care. And here's how it works. If you've been off work for a long time, you might have to start over at the bottom of the ladder, but people are not going to reject your supreme skill and ability to help them if you have the skill to do it. Hiring managers don't care about that. I have never, ever seen a hiring manager reject a candidate that we have pushed forward, even though they had a gap in their employment. We explain the gap. We tell them exactly why the gap is there. And if it's a legitimate reason, like a reduction in force or restructuring, or the company did something crazy and lost money and went out of business, that's fine. That happens. And so don't be afraid to share that information. Lava says, there's only one question I have challenges with answering. What are your weaknesses? Okay, so Lava, let me share something with you. And I'm going to start sharing more of this kind of content. Okay. Now, Lava, you and I are going to play a little game here in the chat. Instead of framing the question, what are your weaknesses? What is the hiring manager really, really asking? Here is what they are asking. What kind of person will I be getting? Or what strengths do you have that I will be getting if I hire you? Or they could be saying, is there anything about your skill that I need to be concerned with if I hire you? How would you answer that question? Anybody can leave a response. Is there anything I need to be concerned with if I hire you? That's the what is your weakness question. Like, what do you mean, what is my weakness? Or you can frame it this way. Is there an area that you're working on that will help you to be a stronger professional in this area? Tell me what that area is. And that could be, well, I'm trying to get more education or technical expertise or become more this or become more that. That's what that question really means. It doesn't mean tell me how weak you are in an area. So I want to start helping you to understand how to reframe these questions so they don't seem like you're being punched in the face, because these questions, they really don't want to know what your weakness is. They just want to know, is there anything I need to be concerned with in terms of some things that maybe you don't know or areas you need to improve in? If I hire you, is there anything I need to know? You know, a funny one could be, well, yeah, I do have a weakness. I'm a workaholic. You're going to have to make me go home every night. Because if I don't, I got to, my dog got to eat, my cat got to eat, my wife want to see me, that kind of thing. They're not trying to, they're not trying to make you reveal any scars. And I guess that's the best way I can put it. They just want to know, is there anything I need to be concerned with if I hire you? Okay, so Love, let me see if you responded. You didn't. Okay, I'll wait for you to respond. No, NOH999 says, Coach, your IG live popped up at a perfect time for my current situation where the company restructured out of my control situation. That's right. Ain't got nothing to do with you. Happens every single day. And so God sent you to this live so you can get the answer that you need. So if somebody says something, ask you about that question, and if you have a question about this and you don't know how to answer a question, I don't care what it is. Send me a message. I'll tell you exactly how to answer it. Okay? So you were sent here for that reason. Okay, so I got another question from Instagram. How do you answer, tell me about a time you dealt with a difficult situation at work? Okay. Now, let me ask you a question. Who has not dealt with a difficult situation at work? Okay, pause for a second. So Lava said, I would say I'm a perfectionist. I spend ample time going over details. Right. See, it's easy to answer the questions when you reframe it properly. And a good hiring manager, I mean a good interviewer, knows how to not make interview questions offensive. And that's what I'm trying to do for you guys. I'm trying to show you that these questions are not meant to attack you, but you have the power, because all the hiring managers trying to do is understand how you think so they can make a prediction about how you will act on their team. That's the only reason why they're asking these questions. Okay, so we have to start learning how to reframe questions so that we don't feel attacked, so we know how to give them answers that are positive, so they're licking their chops at trying to give you an offer. Okay. J.R. Ryan says, thank you for assisting in the restructuring of my resume, Johnny. You're very welcome. And if you need help making sure your resume is AI, applicant tracking system, and job board friendly, you want me to do that for you, I'll be happy to do that for you. I design the applicant tracking systems that your resume goes into. I put in the keywords that AI looks for to grade a person's resume. I know exactly what the applicant tracking systems are looking for. Okay, and so that's how I build your resume. And just so you know, the statistics, I report on this annually, right? We get applicants into our system. How many do we reject and why? 98 out of 100 applications or resumes that come into our system are not a supreme fit. Supreme fit simply doesn't mean we're not going to hire them, but it means they're not a supreme fit. They don't have 100% of what we're looking for. So companies are hiring people whose resume may have 50%, 60%, or 70% of what they're looking for. And if a recruiter doesn't know how to decipher, look through, and unravel your qualifications, you're going to get a rejection letter saying that you're not qualified, or they decided to move on with somebody else, some dumb reason like that, right? And that's just the truth. So you're welcome. If you need help, send me an email with your resume attached. I'll be more than happy to take a look at it. Okay. So how do you answer the question? Tell me about a time you dealt with a difficult situation at work. What was a difficult situation and how did you deal with it? So you think about a situation. Now, why are they asking this question? Let's reframe it. Okay. So everybody has a difficult situation at work. Everybody does. You're welcome, NOH. I look forward to hearing from you. Everybody has a difficult situation at work. So what does the manager want to know? How would you handle a situation that is challenging? And would you make it easy on me to deal with? Or would you drag me down into the dirt with you? That's really what they're asking. If you had a difficult situation here at the job, would you drag me into it? Well, the answer obviously is no, I'm not. I'm not going to drag you into it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to address the situation directly, try to understand what's important with respect to the situation. If it's somebody else, I'm going to try to understand their perspective, come to a mutual agreement, common ground, resolve it, and move forward. That's how I handle difficult situations at work. I'm not going to bring every challenge to you. I'm not going to bring every complaint to you. I'm not going to weigh you down with all of the little bitty things that I should be able to handle as a capable professional myself. That's what they want to hear. I'm not going to involve you in everything. If somebody says something to me that I don't like, I'm grown. I can handle myself, right? I'm not going to bring everything to you. If it's a violation of some sort of policy, I'll be happy to share that information with you, CC everybody, whatever, but I'm not going to bring everything. In other words, what they're saying is, am I going to have to babysit you as a manager? No, you're not. Right? That's how you answer that question. How do you handle it? Tell me about a time you had a difficult situation at work. I would say I have difficult situations at work all the time. My manager never knows about it because I handle those things without needing their assistance. That's how you answer it. Okay. Ashley Lisha says, when an employer asks you for desired salary in the interview and I respond, I'm open, what are the next steps to get them to agree to an offer of salary within my range? Okay, Ashley. First, there's a guide I have called What You Should Know Before You Go. In that guide, it tells you where to look for the range of pay in your market for your position. It will tell you what the range is. Where I'm telling you to go in that guide is the exact same place I go to get that information to give to the hiring manager so we can post it online for you to see. So you go to Glassdoor, Google, or Indeed.com and type in your position and city, or you can ask AI, can you tell me what is the average pay range? You can even ask Siri or anybody. What is the average pay range for a person in this position, working in this industry in New York City? And it'll spit back some numbers to you. And that range that you see indicates the high, medium, and low. The low number is an entry-level person, 0 to 2 years. The high number is a senior level person, 9 or more, 10 or more years experience doing the job. The middle number, which is in between the high and the low, is somebody who's been doing it for about 5 years, 5, 6 years. You are going to find yourself somewhere there. Okay? You're either going to be low, entry level, medium, or high. And you're going to walk into that meeting with that information on a piece of paper, or I don't know, tattoo it on your hand, whatever you have to, you're going to have that information. Okay? And that information should match what the pay range is for this job. Okay? So when you say I'm open, this is the reason why you're saying I'm open. You're saying it so they can reveal their hand first. Now, what do I mean? If a hiring manager interviews you and you blow them away, even though you might be the middle candidate, in other words, may have the middle experience, because they don't want to lose you, they may offer you a little bit more than what they normally would because they really, really like you and they don't want to lose you. Okay? So you know what the range is. In fact, I just talked to a guy the other day. Some company tried to offer, he's so good, they tried to offer him $20,000 more a year than what he's currently making and above what the industry standard is. They really needed help. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. So that's why you say I'm open. Now, another reason why you say I'm open is because if you are an uneducated candidate, meaning you are uneducated about pay ranges, usually what a candidate will do is tell a hiring manager what they made in their last position or the most money they made doing this in another position. And that has nothing to do with this position. Okay? So if another company overpaid you, that's their problem. That's not the new company's problem. What you need to know is the industry standard for pay for the position, and that company should have the industry standard pay for reasons of pay equity within the organization, the whole 9 yards. You should know that. You should never, ever, never walk into an interview without knowing the pay range for yourself, not that you got off of the job board or the job description or the company's website. Because I'm going to share something else with you. I am used to posting the pay range in the position title, but some hiring managers hate that. And the reason why they hate it is because if someone on their team sees that pay range, they're going to ask the hiring manager, well, I see we have this job open and it's paying X. I'm only making Y. Why is that? It just causes too many problems for them. So we have had to go to not posting the pay range in the position description, but it is embedded inside of the job posting itself. So to get around that or to conquer that, you should know when you walk in the door exactly what the pay range is. Also, there's other things you should know. The company core values, the vision, the mission, all of that stuff you can find online. I was talking to a client in a one-on-one, lives in Canada, and he is going to be, he has an interview, what is today, Thursday? He had an interview today for a mill maintenance management position for a company that mines gold. And I asked him a question. I'm not trying to put him on the spot. I'm not saying his name. I already had this conversation with him. I said, tell me what you know about this company. Like where you currently are, how many ounces of gold are they mining a year? He told me. I said, how many ounces of gold is this other company mining a year? He didn't know. So I just pulled it up on the website. I said, tell me about the company. How long have they been in business? I said, man, get on your computer right now and pull up this company's information. Don't go to that interview on Thursday and not know this. So the company that he currently works with, they're mining about 400,000 or 4,000 ounces or whatever the ounces is, 400,000 a year. This other company is doing 400,000 a month, like 10 times the amount, which means they have 10 times the equipment that he would be responsible for being a maintenance manager over. It's 10 times the work. But it's also twice the pay. And you have to know that. You can't, he's making 115 now. You can't go in there just, why would you ask for 115? You're doing 10 times the work. You have 10 times the responsibility. So you should know that before you walk in the door. That's what I talk to clients one-on-one about. Don't ever walk into a company and not know what the pay range is, ever. The information is public and you should be able to get it. Don't let a recruiter tell you, oh, the position pays XYZ. You should pull out a piece of paper, information written on a napkin. No, I researched it via Glassdoor, Indeed, and Google.com. And this is the pay range standard in this industry. And I'm at the top end or wherever you are. That's how you respond to that question. Okay. Another question from Instagram. If you have a question, leave it in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer it. I do not want you to fail ever in an interview, ever in an interview. Another great question from Instagram. Great content. How should I respond when a company recruiter asks in the first 10 minutes of a call, are you currently interviewing for other opportunities? Should I pivot the conversation? Should I bring the focus back to what you are looking for in the next job? Or let the interviewer know that you're considering other options? Okay. No one on my team, if I ever heard a recruiter ask that question, I mean, you can't be physical with your team members. But why are we even asking that question? Because here's what we understand. Good candidates have multiple opportunities. I know this. And in fact, we tell the hiring managers, if you drag your feet with this candidate, they will not be available in the next week. Make a decision. Okay? So only a dumb recruiter, and I don't mean to be offensive to anybody, would ask this question. So if you come across this question, how should you respond? Now, this question may come up in a pre-screen like this did, or a hiring manager at the end of the interview may ask the question. Why are they asking it? But let's figure that out. Why do they want to know if you got other people you going on a date with, if you will? Why do they want to know? Because they like you and they don't want nobody else to choose you. So let's reframe the question. It will go something like this. I know we're only pre-screening, but if we made an offer to you, would we be competing with another company for your talent? That's really what they're asking. Can you tell me if you got somebody else that you're courting or somebody else that's courting you? Can you tell me if you've already interviewed with people and you got other offers on the table? That's what they really want to know. First of all, that's none of your business, right? That's nobody's business. That's not a good question to answer for a recruiter. It's showing how fearful, uncomfortable, incompetent You are. We have the best company and the best jobs. We want to hire the best people. The only reason I'm interviewing with you is because you're the best person. Now you got to make a decision about whether you want to be on the best team or not. That's my attitude when I interview candidates, right? I don't say, man, I want to make sure that we get you. But is there anybody else out there talking to you? Is anybody else out there trying to? Yes, there are. Okay. So here's how you respond. There are other opportunities. There are other opportunities that are available to me, but there is no opportunity better than this one right now. You're the best. I want to work for the best company in the world. This is the company that I'm interested in, and this is what I'm focused on. That's how you respond to that question. And that's what I told this Instagram follower to say. There are other opportunities available to me. There are. But none are more important to me than this one right now. That's how you respond to that question. Okay? Ashley says, when the interviewers are invasive and they ask what your, okay, Ashley, I want to make sure I understand your question. So, okay, I think I understand your question. I'm gonna try to say it. So let me know if I'm correct. When the interviewer is being invasive or evasive and they ask what your previous pay was, how do I defer the answer? Okay, so if that's your question, that's a good question that people ask that all the time. So why are they, I'm going to give you the answer, but let's reframe it. Why are they asking that question? Why are they asking you what you were getting paid at your last job? Why do they want to know that? Okay. Because they want to know if the pay that they are going to, there's two reasons primarily. If the pay they're going to offer you is comparable to what you've made before, they may be interested in making an offer, or they are trying to get over on you. And if the pay you just came from was on the low end, even though you're a senior level person, they're going to try to pay you the low pay. That's why I always say, tell them I am open. If they ask you about what you were being paid in your previous job, this is how you respond. I was being paid in line with what the market pays for this position. That's it. Don't say anything else. Can you give me a number? I was being paid the market rate, the fair market rate for this position in my previous company. That's it. Don't say anything else. That's all they need to know. Storm said, I would ask, what's the current pay scale for the role? So, Stormy on TikTok, we never ask that question. Okay? You never ask that question. Let me tell you why. I'm going to give you an analogy. That's like walking into a fine dining steakhouse and asking the waiter, how much is the T-bone steak? The thought of that waiter is, you know this is a fine dining restaurant. If you're concerned about price, why are you sitting here? Like what's the deal with that? So we never ask what the pay scale is. That's why I give you the information on where to go find it. Don't ever ask that. Never ask what the pay scale is. Please, I'm begging you, don't do that. Never ask that question. I'm telling you, as a talent acquisition manager, it tells me you reek of not being prepared. And no one wants to hire somebody who is not prepared. One of the first questions I ask in an interview is, have you ever heard about us? The company name. Have you ever heard about us? If they say no, I want to say, like, why are you even here? You don't even know anything about us. Like, how do you know you want to work here? It tells me that that person is just hungry for a job. Research the company. I'm giving you this content for free. Go to Google, go to Glassdoor, go to Indeed.com and type in your position, your city, and the average pay range. It will pop up. I promise you that. You know what? I'm going to do a screen share one day and show you guys where to find that information. It's public. It's the same place I go to when somebody comes to me and says, Dan, we need to hire for this position. Can you please tell me what the pay range would be so we can get it approved through the channels so we can get the position posted? I go right to Google, Indeed.com, and Glassdoor, and I type in what I just told you to type in, and I come back to them and say, the industry pay range is this. Is that okay? Great. Let's get it approved. I will get it posted. I'll get you to approve the job description and everything else, and then we'll put it out there on the internet for people to see. Never. Don't ever walk into a job without knowing what the pay range is, please. Please don't ever do that. Promise me you won't do that ever again. Don't do that. Yeah, Ashley, and I answered that question. What was my previous pay? You say to them, my previous pay was in line with the industry standard for my role. That's how you answer it. Don't ever give a number. Never. Never give the hiring manager or the recruiter a number for your previous job. It's none of their business. I'm sharing this information with you guys because I'm telling you, I know that it's a challenge. Nobody's telling you this. And they're just letting people look foolish. And that's not cool. You should know. And when candidates interview with me and they don't know, I tell them so they don't look like a fool. Here's why. Every candidate that I submit to a hiring manager is a representation of my ability to decide whether somebody is good or not. And if you walk into an interview and you don't know the basics, like how long we've been in business, what our core values are, what we do as a company, what our core product or service is, like if you don't know that, if you don't know the job that you're going to be doing and the problem it solves for the organization, I look like an idiot. My job is to prepare you for that. My job is to put you in a position to win. And this is something I'm passionate about because nobody's going to help you. These hiring managers are not going to help you. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. What ends up happening is they will reject you, tell me they rejected you, and then send me a Teams message that says, can you get me more candidates? That's why I tell people that interview with me for jobs in the company that I'm with, please do what I'm telling you to do. Do exactly what I'm saying do. Don't do anything outside of that, because I'm giving you all of the secrets so you don't look like look like you don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? I want you guys, listen to me. I want you to win. You gotta take care of your families. Okay. You have to make sure that you are maximizing your earnings. You don't have no idea what's going to happen next year, next month, 2 years from now. You have in your mind, I'm going to get with this company and I'm going to be there for 20 years and retire. And some CEO makes some dumb financial decision and they have to cut half of the workforce, and you are caught in the middle of it, and you have raised your lifestyle to meet your standards on that job that you've been with for 5 years, and you are back in the job market trying to find a job again because some dummy made a mistake. If you are not equipped, it's going to be a challenge for you. I'm telling you. Listen to me. So I have been sent into your life to help prepare you so you can knock this test down, so you can win in every interview, so you can never, ever be lowballed again. You can never be duped again, ever again in your life. Listen to every video on my page, everyone. Go to the store and get all of the information you need so no one can take advantage of you. Because I'm going to tell you something, they are going to. They are waiting for the next sucker to come in front of them and sit in front of them in an interview who don't know what's going on so they can meet their budget. And it's the truth. I'm telling you the truth. I know this for a fact. Let me get off my soapbox. I'm passionate about candidate success. That's why I answer all of your questions. Text messages, emails. That's why I give you my honest feedback about your resume and answer all of the questions that you send me. I'll every one of them. I do it because I care about your success. I'm passionate about it. I don't want you to be like I was when I was 16 years old, growing up in a home with a single mom who was trying to figure out how to make ends meet. And the only thing I could think about doing was going to get a job to take the pressure off her. I know what it feels like, and I don't want you to feel that way. You understand? If you need help with your resume, and how do you know if you need help with your resume? You are applying to jobs and no one is calling you back. That's because your resume is broken. No, your resume is not appealing. Well, Dan, what is an appealing resume? Your resume must show what you are an expert at. Your resume must show quantifiable evidence about the problems you've solved for another company. Quantifiable. Okay? Not just your work history. Nobody cares about that. It's about what problems you solved for somebody else and to what level have you solved them. That is quantifiable accomplishments. And if your resume doesn't have it, you are in trouble. No one's going to call you back. You're just going to keep getting rejection letters, and you're going to be out of work for months and months and months, and the mortgage payment will continue to come. I promise you that. The car note will still come. You still got to get groceries. Still got to take care of your kids. Still got to try to live your life, right? It's still coming. I promise you, it's still going to come. And so I'm trying to help you maximize your career, your ability to earn. And even if something happens funky in your career, you can pivot so fast. Like this lady was talking about, she was fired from a job and it was her fault. And she followed the content and had 4 job offers, 4, and she accepted all 4 of them. She's 47. What is she going to do? If you get terminated, tell them, listen, I made a mistake. I did. I've learned from that mistake. And here's one thing I can guarantee you. I will never do that again. That's fine. That's all hiring managers want to know. But I care about you winning, not continuing to be walked over and stomped on by hiring managers and companies who only care about themselves and their bottom line. What about your bottom line? That's why I tell you, never, ever, 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 never accept an offer without asking for more money. Always. They may not give it to you, but always ask. I had a guy tell me in the comments the other day, I asked a question, they got a 13% raise offer over what they were asking. Always ask. Always. How often? Always. 100% of the time? Yes. Always ask for more money. 10% above what the offer is. Can the company go, thank you for the offer. Can the company go to here? Why do I want you to do that? Because you need to take care of yourself. Nobody's going to take care of you. No one's going to advocate for you. They're not going to tell you that they have extra money that they can give to you because you're a supremely qualified producer. They know it. I have these one-on-one conversations with hiring managers about how excited they are about you. And then when they make you an offer, they're beating my email down. Dan, have they accepted the offer? Have they accepted the offer? Shut up. Yes, I got them. Be quiet. I'm going to take this person through the process to make sure it is a good candidate experience so they can be onboarded into this company. Stop nagging me about that. I got this. So Rita Hinton says, how you doing, Rita, my friend? Rita says, what if they don't accept your offer? Do you go ahead and accept their offer for their first offer? Yes. So here's the deal. You always want to ask them for an additional 10%. So you know what that looks like. I don't have to give you the math because the money's available. Okay. They're usually willing to go 10%, sometimes 5%. But if they come back and say, well, no, we're at the top end of the pay range, we can't go anywhere else, then you say, okay, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And you accept the offer as is. But if you don't ask when you are a supremely qualified candidate, if you don't ask, they will not offer. Listen to me. They're not going to offer it. They're not going to offer to pay you more, even though they know you are a top producer, top support person, a customer service rep who answers 125 calls every single day, 5 days a week with no vacations, right? They know that. They've interviewed you. They know what you can do. They know what you bring to the table. They're not going to offer you anything extra. So you have to advocate for yourself and ask that question. Now, why am I asking you to ask that question? Because I know there's extra money there. I know. I'm the one that bills out the pay ranges. Me. Okay? I know what the pay range is. An additional $2 a week, $2 an hour in salary is an additional $4,000 a year. That is not going to break the bank of a company if they know within the first 90 days you're going to be onboarded and you're going to take a responsibility that they have carried for years. It's worth it. Trust me. Always ask for 10% more. I had a second interview today, but they will let me know by Wednesday if that is that okay timing. No. Now they can let you know by Wednesday. That's fine. Today is Thursday, so that's a week. I'm telling you what my typical prescription is. If you interview with the company and they have not gotten back to you in 3 business days, so this is acceptable. Okay, so typically it's Thursday, Friday, Monday. If I don't hear from them by Monday, Tuesday morning, I'm sending them an email. Hey, I'm just following up. If they don't respond to that email, I'm calling. You should call the next day. Leave a voicemail. If they don't return your voicemail, get in your car and go up to the location and get an update. You don't have time to be waiting around on lazy, slowful managers. Don't do that. Okay? Get them to give you an answer. It's not nagging. It's not. If you interview for me for the position, that must mean you have the position that's open. When a position is open and they're interviewing for it, they're trying to get that position filled within 14 to 21 days of the day it opens so they can get somebody working. Because every 30 days that that position is not open, every 30 days, the work continues to pile up. Okay? From a human resources perspective, George Riviera asked this question. Let me fix this over here on TikTok. George Riviera asked the question. If you get fired at fault and you're at fault, could that company talk bad about when you're applying for a new company? It is not standard policy for human resources to give negative feedback about a person's separation from a company. What we know is, from an HR perspective, if we do that, we might be sued because we're slandering your name or something like that, right? So we typically give, yes, this person was here, they worked these days, and they may say, well, is that person rehireable? They may say not at this time, or they may decline to answer that question, but they're not going to, they should not. A good quality HR department should not give a reason why you are no longer with the company. Okay. Just Blake said, I had an interview today and used your tools and guidance to get the job and got the offer within an hour. Amen. Because it works. Thank you so much for sharing that information. It does work. Listen, I want to continue to share this information with you. I am committed to doing this. I would love your support. And there's a couple of ways you can support me. Number one, if you just want to give to what I'm doing, you can. Click the link in my bio and give $10. I would appreciate that. If you need help on how to negotiate pay, interview questions and answers, I got that guide. If you need your resume fixed, there's a resume template, or I'll do the resume rework for you. I do that, not anyone on my team. I do it. Okay. Any of that stuff you need, if you're on a job and you're trying to figure out, how do I get promoted on this job? How do I make more money on this job? I have a guide that tells you exactly what you need to do to get promoted and make more money on your job, like right now, right? So you can get all of that in my store right now. All right. If you need a coaching session, let's say you have a job that's coming up, and I do these every single day. People do one-on-one coaching sessions with me because they need to be prepared for a job. You have a job interview coming up. You have no idea what questions they're going to ask you. I will tell you every possible question they're going to ask you in our one-on-one. I'll tell you, and I'm going to give you the answers to it. And if you have questions after our one-on-one, all you got to do is text me or email me or DM me, and I'll tell you exactly what the answers are. So when you walk into that meeting, you know exactly how to answer it. I want to provide you guys with ongoing content, ongoing support. So please, if you would, if you find it in your heart, give $10, go to the store, purchase something. And I say this every single time I'm on live. This is my mission and my vision. I am going to spend the rest of my life helping you get to the next level in business. I'll talk to you guys again soon. God bless you.